Jamie Dimon is saying that JP Morgan is preparing for a default on the national US debt. Now, I don't think many of us here, probably not any of us here, expect there to be a default on the US debt. They always increase the debt ceiling, sometimes after a brief shutdown, but it's always gotten passed. And as we know, when you can create unlimited amounts of money out of thin air, there really technically doesn't have to be a debt ceiling, but they will put it out there as a charade, as a talking point. And besides that, it gives the lawmakers something to do and actually make it look like they're actually doing some work. But let's talk about what JP Morgan is out there saying. This one comes out of the Hill. Dimon says JP Morgan preparing for potentially catastrophic US credit default. So why are so many people out there warning? Yellen's out there warning. We've got Powell out there warning. Now bank heads warning. It's making some people think that there's something more, something bigger happening this time. And yes, there could be more than any of us know happening behind the scenes, but historically and just common sense will tell you that this is not going to be a catastrophe. Some people say I'm doom and gloom. I'm actually less doom and gloomish than all these people. Jamie Dimon, Jerome Powell, Yellen, who have been warning of this debt ceiling and default. So if you want to look for doom and gloomers, go find those people. But let's get back to this article. JP Morgan preparing for potentially catastrophic U.S. credit default. JP Morgan Chase CEO said, quote, potentially catastrophic. And this was an interview on Tuesday, September 28th, an interview with Reuters. And he said, quote, every time this comes up, it gets fixed. The country should never get this close. He continues, quote, I just think this whole thing is mistaken, and one day we should just have a bipartisan bill to get rid of the debt ceiling, unquote. So he's kind of sounding like I do, is that why is the debt ceiling even there if you can create unlimited amounts of money out of thin air? Why have a debt ceiling? Because it's a charade, it's a show, it's a dog and pony show, many people would say. All right, so look at it like this. One side can come out and say, no, there's too much spending going on. We've got to pull back on the spending. It's too much. The taxpayers are going to be on the hook for this. And that way their base or their followers will say, yeah, they're out there fighting for us. They're fighting against the other side. In the meantime, at the same time, they're all making millions of dollars. They're all laughing all the way to the bank. They're all doing their own trading off of what they know is going to happen, which is going to be more debt, more market propping and manipulation. But don't let me digress too much here. Dimon said Tuesday that the last time JP Morgan prepared for a potential national debt default, it cost the firm roughly $100 million. Now, we had earlier reported on what Janet Yellen was saying. Janet Yellen was saying about the debt ceiling. Jerome Powell also has chimed in here recently on Monday, and he said, quote, I think it's essential to raise the debt ceiling in time to avoid payment defaults of any kind, and potential effects could be severe, unquote. So can we see what's happening here, people? Let me know down in comments. Why do you think they're talking like this? If there really doesn't have to be a debt ceiling, again, they can create endless amounts of money. Why are they talking about this? Are they trying to scare people? Or are they trying to just get rid of the debt ceiling altogether? You see, if they scare enough people, people are thinking they won't get their monthly payments. Retired people, senior citizens are worried about not getting their monthly checks. Other programs, assistance programs, payout programs are going to be threatened by this or could cease if the government were to shut down, which I don't think will happen. But the reason why they're putting the fear out there is because they want to get rid of the debt ceiling. And if you scare everyone and tell everyone how bad it's going to be and how broke they're going to be if they don't pass it, then people will be behind it. People will say, yes, let's get rid of the debt ceiling. And that way it'll be even easier for them to go ahead and pump out endless amounts of packages, spending bills. And yes, you'll see it just like you always have witnessed, that the top 10% will get the majority or gain the most of the wealth at the same time as this debt skyrockets into the stratosphere. And as most of you know, the closer you are to the money printer, the better trader you become. You all of a sudden know exactly what to buy and when to buy it and what to sell and when to sell it. And this is being reported out of NPR. 2 top Fed Reserve officials retire after trading disclosures. And of course, they're saying it's not because of that. It's just a convenient time to retire. You see, they just now decided, oh, it's a good time to spend more time with my family. I'm not feeling so well. I'm going to do it for my health. So I think I'll take an early retirement. Now, some other people are out there pointing to this as some sort of turning point. Technically, we've never seen this happen with 2 Fed presidents retiring at the same time under these conditions, an early retirement, that is. So again, like I said earlier, there could be a lot of things happening behind the scenes. I tend to doubt anything's going to change for the betterment of the working class or the middle class. But I could be jaded in that thought. So again, I'll pose the question. Please let me know down in the comments. Why are they putting such fear out there in talks of default if really they can never default, considering the money printer? You let me know. I think it's to scare people into feeling like they need these lawmakers to come and save them. And when most people live paycheck to paycheck, that's what it's going to be. People are going to be begging the lawmakers to just get rid of the debt ceiling. And with no debt ceiling, more spending, more packages, we know the mega rich get even richer. So that's my thoughts on it. Please let me know what you think. Now I'm going to wrap it up right here. We're going to change directions a little bit. And let's talk about the worker shortage. And here's just one industry that's seeing a major shortage of workers. And this is the heating and cooling industry. And there is, as always, high demand for heating and cooling. Of course, we see the demand for cooling really jump up in the summer. A lot of the workers that are there are working overtime. But it seems like we're in an age where people really just want to sit behind a desk and trade and push buttons and try to make lots of money and not really lift much more than a finger. If you're typing on a keyboard, at least you're lifting a finger. But why I wanted to bring this up, and the point of this is there is work out there, and these actually pay pretty well. But again, we have a population, for the most part, not always, but a population that thinks less is more. They see all of these people making tons of money in the markets. Of course, we've got YouTubers on here showing you how to trade and make millions of dollars. But the sad fact at the end of the day, and I read this stat a couple years ago, I think it's still pretty accurate, about 90% of traders, and day traders anyway, fail. Now, long-term traders or people that just trade, maybe swing trading or trade out stocks every few weeks, they tend to be more successful because they're more patient. They can wait for the right times to buy and sell. But the people in and out, what these day traders are doing, the whole, what's his name? Tim Sykes kind of thing, most of those guys, at least 90% from what I read, fail. So the quick money's not there. I just thought I would chime in with that at the end of this video because there's something big happening in this country, and people are choosing not to work for lots of reasons. But we can't discount that there's a lot of laziness out there. People want to sit, push a button in the air-conditioned room. They don't want to fix the air conditioner, but they want to sit in the air conditioning. It's about all for today's report here. Everybody, thanks for watching. Stay well, stay safe, stay prepared. What do you think about the fear being pushed out of these officials? Do you agree with me on that? Thanks for watching, people. Bye for now. Peace.